Okay, so I ended up finding a tier maker that was already pre-made with all the characters up to date. And we're gonna use this. So the only thing I really have to do is change the actual tier name. So this is going, so we're gonna split this right here. So S is gonna be should be banned. Should be banned. Is it? We're gonna put respectable bans. I'll put that right there. I'm gonna put, for this one I'm gonna put understandable. Understandable bans. Oh shoot, bans. Should never be banned. And I think I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna delete this row. Delete that row. I'm gonna do it like that. So this is how. So these are gonna be the 4 tiers for the video. So again, this video is basically to help people understand who they should ban and who they shouldn't ban. Now let me set the prerequisites for it. For a character to be banned in Pokemon Unite Draft, in my opinion, that character has to be completely overpowered. It has to be difficult across the board to fight against. The character might be too strong, and it's just a problem to deal with no matter what character you're choosing. I understand that some people, they might have a certain problem with a certain character, or they know they're going against somebody who specializes in using a certain character, so they might ban that character instead over the one who should be banned. That's going to be the respectable bans. Understandable bans is kind of like, it's somewhat in the same bracket, but more so like, it's like, I could see how somebody could have trouble with that one. You know what I mean? I wouldn't ban the character personally, but if you, appreciate the follow line, Soda. If you're having trouble with a certain character, I can understand why you would want to ban, even though I don't think it should be. It's understandable, right? And then you have the never should be banned category. Under no circumstance when it comes to banning a character should this character even be looked at, especially over the ones that should be banned, let alone the other tiers. So that's what that tier is for. So I'm kind of separating them like that. So first off, let's go with the shouldn't be, well, the should be banned category. Let's just go with that. So in this recent patch, I think November 1st, they gave Mewtwo Y a buff that basically brought it back up to what it was when it was first released. Attacks really fast, very damaging, and I think somebody dubbed it Protect the President. Almost kind of like that's the strategy when it comes to Mewtwo Y. They called it Protect the President. Somebody in my chat did that. So whoever the person that did that, I want to give you credit. They call it the Protect the President strat, because that's basically all people doing. When you have a Mewtwo Y on your team, it does so much, it's squishy, but it does so much damage and attacks so quick, Apom, appreciate it, that everybody else basically just guards that character. And not to mention, if there's another character on the team that's also very high damaging, you basically going up against a no-win situation. So Mewtwo Y is definitely a character that should be banned in ranked draft. Unquestionably, it was a problem when it first got released, and they nerfed him like several times. I think they nerfed him a few less than Mewtwo X when the Mewtwo X was first released, but Mewtwo Y was nerfed like almost immediately, like the same day that it came out, and they had to nerf it like several times during that week just to get it balanced out. So the fact that they patched it to where he's back to where that Mewtwo Y was, should be banned. Every game, hands down, should be banned. Next. You know what's crazy? I'm looking at this roster, and maybe because it's just my experience with the game, I don't see. I'm trying to. I'm trying to see who on here is really giving me any trouble for real. Me personally, just from my experience, because I have strategies against every Pokemon. I main Dark Fister, Shifu, Mamoswine, and a couple other Pokemon. So I know how to counter most of these characters that's on the roster. None of them really give me that much trouble. But no, I don't think Meowscarada should be banned. Like, that's not a should be banned character. Probably one of the other tiers, but definitely not should be banned at all. Especially not over certain other ones. When it comes to banning certain characters, I'm actually going to put Darkrai up there. Darkrai really ain't that big of a problem, though. It's too squishy. Yeah, it has a good ult, and it does a lot of damage, but I haven't seen a Darkrai that was so good that it was like, oh, we gotta ban this character. I never seen a Darkrai like that. Even Slowbro, not even. There isn't too many characters that's in like the should be banned category. Even Cerulean, with Cerulean, he's strong, but he's not like should be banned. I mean, I guess if you're in ranked draft, there's only so many choices that you have. So I at least have to put 4 in that tier. Like, I have to put at least 4 within that tier. You know what? I am gonna put Cyril Edge in there because Cyril Edge, he's real strong. Like, just to fill it up, because like I said, that should be banned. Has to have at least 4 characters in it, because your team gets 2 picks and the other team gets 2 picks. So just to, what I'm saying, keep it. Let me turn this music. I don't want the music up bumping that loud. I see no volumes on that. There we go. All right. But yeah, Cyril Edge is very strong. It does a lot of damage. Even though I don't think he should be banned, I do think he's strong enough to put in that category. Just for the sake, because like I said, I have to at least have 4 in there for the sake that you get 2 and the enemy team gets 2. I would say Armor Rogue. Let's put Armor Rogue in there. Armor Rogue, that fire spin, even though they nerfed it, technically fire spin is a never, like, once it's activated, it's activated. It's not going to stop. Like, if you stun them, it's still going to be activated and swirling around. If it's, if Armor Rogue is like staggered or stunned in any way, fire spin still is active. There's no way to stop it once it's activated. So that might make it a problem. Blissey isn't as strong on her own, but fighting on, yeah, but that's not a must be banned character in my opinion. Like, basically for the reasons you said, like, Blissey's not strong on her own. She's just, but then again, she's a support. She's a support. She's there to enhance the team. She's not there to dominate on her own. You know what? I would put. I'm trying to think who else. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb, right? I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna put Slowbro up there. Slow. A lot of people might question me for this, but when you have a Pokemon that has a Unite move that can stop everybody else's Unite moves, especially when it's a crucial time, like when everybody's going to Rayquaza, that's something to worry about. Plus slow, plus Slowbro has like some good defenses. It can heal itself pretty good. I've seen many situations where it takes like 4 people just to get rid of one Slowbro, and this is like during the early mid game to early game. So that's, to me, that's bannable. That's bannable. These would be the only 4 I would leave up here for those reasons. Mewtwo, why? Because of the ridiculous overpoweredness of that. Slowbro, simply because that ult is just, it's a very good. It's a very good Unite move. To have a Unite move that stops everybody else's Unite moves, that's incredible. Armor Rogue, because that Fire Spin, and the fact that Fire Spin adds passive damage on top of that once you get hit 3 times by it, that's something else to worry about. Like, once, now Wigglytuff, nah, I wouldn't ban Wigglytuff because Wiggly ain't really, like, again, and this is, for the most part, this is based on my experience of dealing with these characters. Wigglytuff has never given me that big of an issue like that. Even with the best Wigglytuffs, they never really, yeah. Wigglytuff hasn't really given me that much of an issue to where I feel like you have to ban, especially over the ones that I'm, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put Wigglytuff over these 4. So not me personally. Because like I said, I have ways of dealing with that because of the characters that I use. So I don't see Wigglytuff as being that big of a problem. Even with like the squishies that I use, like when I use like Cinderace or use Decidueye, Wigglytuff has never been a big problem for me. So I can't really say that that's a should be banned character. Across the board, people have had problems with these 4. So I can say, okay, these are the ones that should be banned from competition, if anybody's going to go in anything. Next up, we have the respectable bans, right? The respectable bans. And for the first one from here, I think I'm going to put Darkrai in the respectable bans. Now, again, respectable means that they're not in the should be banned category, but they're good enough to where it's like, okay, you didn't go with the should be's or like the ones that should be banned, but this is character strong enough that I get why you banned them. Like I get why you banned them. So Darkrai, the character's still relatively new. I mean, I don't know how you're gonna learn against the character if you don't, fight against it, but whatever. He's still strong. People still figuring him out. He still has some pretty good moves. So I can get why somebody would, ban Darkrai. Next up, I will go with Mimikyu. Mimikyu was a very respectable ban. That play rough and that Shadow Sneak and Unite combo is like, Mimikyus have been more annoying this season than anything. Like completely just like Mimikyus have been a very big pain in the ass this season. And I low-key feel like Mimikyu kind of replaced Azumarill in many ways. It can do a lot of damage, and basically Mimikyu can put itself in a position where it can hit you, but you can't hit him. You know what I'm saying? And that is a tedious character to go against. Tetsu, what's up, man? Like, we're talking about characters that should be banned in ranked draft, respectable bans, understandable bans, and the ones that never should be banned. But Happy to see you, man. Happy the surgery went well. I don't know what those doctors were thinking with your meds, but glad you got that taken care of and you're still here. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you. Next up in the respectable bands. I'm gonna put Ho-Oh up there. Ho-Oh is the only character in this game, and I mean the only character in this game that can revive an entire team after they got whipped. That is completely understandable if you don't want to go against that. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get it. On the respectable bands again. Low key, I'll put Hooper in there. Hooper definitely is a respectable band. When you have a character that can take you from bottom lane to top lane in like seconds flat in order to get into a team fight, or use his Unite move to pull everybody within that area, completely respectable. I can understand why somebody, I completely respect why somebody want to ban Hooper. That should be pretty self-explanatory. I finally tried Hooper and love it. OP for the map movement, very. Honestly, fair. Hooper has stun on you. Yeah, he does, and that's another good reason. Lime soda, like he has that stun as well. So, and then he can steal berries. You know what I'm saying? Like that's another can of worms you got to deal with. Do I think he should be banned over the other four that I have up there? No, but I can completely respect it. Like I completely respect it because he has enough to be a problem. Berry stealing that exactly. He will steal a berry quick. Like you could be running to the berry and all of a sudden this portal opens up and just takes it. Like I've had that happen to me so many times, man. So Hooper is definitely a pain in the ass. Who else do we have as a respectable man? You know what? I'm gonna go with Intellion. This might surprise some people. In my experience with going against Intellions, his snipe shot hurts like a motherfucker. Especially when somebody knows how to use Intellion. And I said this way back when Intellion was just in the test server. In the right hands, Intellion is a problem. And he's a specialist character. You know, Intellion is that character where if somebody picks him, you have to assume that they know how to use him, because nobody really uses him. Basically, it's like you said, Tetsu, nobody uses him. Like you don't see him that often. So you would only have to assume that when somebody picks him, they know what they're doing. And every time I went against an Intellion this season, they use Snipe Shot and they know how to use it. They know how to get their critical stocks, and them Snipe Shots hurt. And mind you, I'm using people like Mamoswine and Blastoise going against it. And it takes off chunks of damage. You know what I'm saying? When I got defensive Pokemon like that. So when you can do damage to a defensive Pokemon, you're a problem. I can see why somebody wouldn't want to deal with you. Let's see, who else we got that's who else do we have on here that's a respectable band? Leafeon, I can agree with that. Leafeon got an early game that is such a pain in the ass that if you don't know how to deal with it, Leafeon will get overpowered by the time mid game even hits. Like Glaceon, another one. I hate them shards. Let me say this for the record. I hate Glaceon shards. Those things will follow you to hell. There should be a patch or a nerf done to the Glaceon to where once you're at a certain distance, they should disappear. This is easily one of the... Matter of fact, I'm going to tell y'all something that y'all didn't know. I seen a match. It was like one of the random matches I was just looking at. Glaceon had used its spears going against like an enemy team's Hoopa. And I guess whoever the Glaceon was aiming at, Hoopa had activated a portal, you know, the one to get him back to the home base. When Glaceon fired the spears, Now, I don't know if this is a glitch or whatever, but this was like a random thing. He fired the spears. The Hoopa sent the team back to the base, and the shards tracked them all the way back there. Now, I don't know if they fixed this because this was like some time ago when I seen this, but the shards literally tracked them all the way back to the base. So I seen that. But then again, I did see a 1 in a million match in League of Legends where Jinx had fired her like global rocket and hit somebody that just got back to base before they started healing and knocked them out. So I shouldn't be surprised that I see that in a game like Pokemon Unite. No, that's a fact. That's a reason to turn the game off. Like I said, I don't know if they fixed it because they be doing them hot fixes, but this was like last year I seen that. So I'm pretty sure they nerfed it to the where it's like not doing that no more. But I'm pretty sure somebody got that video out there on YouTube somewhere. But yeah, seeing that, I was like, no, nerf them damn shards, please. Oh, okay, so let's see who else we got. Who else do we have as a respectable band? Delphox is annoying. That fire spin, you know what I'm saying? You know what? I'll throw Delphox up there because that fire spin. Yeah, it is maybe more so understandable because without that fire spin, Delphox really don't have nothing. Delphox really has like two problems. Well, Delphox has two problematic moves. That's its Unite move and Fire Spin. Out of that, it's like it don't really have nothing. So I would put it in understandable. I wouldn't put it in respectable. Yeah, like that ult though. Like that ult is an issue, especially when you in a team fight. You fighting in this, yeah. It's really those only two moves. The only moves that really like I'm worried about. Other than that, you really ain't. When you think about it, Delphox really only has Fire Spin and Unite move. Nobody really gets anything done with the other two moves. Like Delphox is really only two moves. Like there's never a reason not to pick Fire Spin with Delphox. You guys tried Gardevoir yet? Gardevoir, I use Gardevoir seldom, but I haven't really. Gardevoir hasn't really been like an issue for me. I don't sleep on it, but it's like, again, like you have to understand, I main Dark Fist or Shifu. Anytime I see that fire spin coming, I just charge Wicked Blow and just avoid it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't really have an issue with fire spin like that, but I use Mamoswine and other characters, and that fire spin catches me when I'm trying to run away. So, so that's that. Who else is really a problem like that? I don't really know. Did I get Miraidon on it? Miraidon, I could throw him up there. He's not in the tier list that I seen on Unite DB. He's supposed to be S tier, but I don't see him as S tier like that. Yeah, he does damage, but that cooldown nerf on Electro Drift kind of hurt him a little bit to where people don't even use it no more. So it's like the problematic move ain't even a problem. I mean, yeah, maybe Thunderbolt or whatever that move that like tracks you. I don't really see it being. I don't know. I don't see Miraidons like that. Even the ones that I go against though don't really cause me that many problems. But I can see where the issue is. Oh, going to eat with the fan man real quick. Oh, no problem, man. Appreciate you for stopping by. Miraidon, appreciate it, Tetsu. Miraidon hasn't really given me that much of an issue. But considering that a lot of people see it as like top tier, I'll just put it in respectable for now. And then when we go over it at the end, maybe we'll move it. Man, I should have told you Ninetales. Ninetales, more or less understandable. Like I could see Ninetales being an issue for somebody. You know that I can't remember the name of the damn thing moves, but the one where he flips his tail and pushes you against the ice wall. That's problematic. That random ice, yeah, blizzard. Yeah, you know I never seen any gleam beam A9s. I never seen them. Um, Let me see. Who else do we have? Oh, you know what? Hold up. I'm gonna put Parasite in respectable. Parasite is one of those Pokemon. Well, for the people who are unfamiliar, I call Comfy Parasite because that's basically the whole playstyle of the character. Attaches to somebody and survives. That's the whole thing. That's what a parasite does. I nicknamed it Parasite years ago, but Parasite never is an issue on its own, but it keeps people alive to the point where it's annoying. You know, imagine you going up against a defensive Pokemon that already is hard to kill, and you put a parasite on top of that. That's like you can attach parasite to nearly any Pokemon on the roster. No, I've been that's kind of been my thing. Like I did it 2 years ago, and I'm probably like the only because I'm the one that came up with it. Like that's like my thing. When I had my original ADS Play 101, like if you see some of my old matches from my old account, you'll probably still hear me call that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm the one who. But if you find out anybody else is saying that, they get it from me. Well, my old ADS Play 101 account when I had it. But yeah, I literally call it Parasite because that's what it does. Like, but yeah, Parasite makes it difficult to knock out any other Pokemon. Uh, who else is really giving people problems like that this season? Zoroark, I see him a lot. I can put Zoroark as like understandable because the one move that makes Zoroark is like a mini Mimikyu in terms of the way people play him. You know how Mimikyu has like play rough in his Unite move where it can hit you but you can't hit it back? Wild Charge, I believe that's the name of the move, is like that for Zoroark. That's like the one move that makes Zoroark like an issue. If people know how to use him, then he's a problem because that Wild Charge can hit you multiple times to where it can knock you out almost to where like it never ends. What I consider Absol. Absol isn't really an issue this season like that. You know, Absol is one of those characters that's it. He been nerfed enough in the past to where you don't see him a lot anymore. Like a lot of those Absols, unless they just like using Absol or they specialize in using Absol, they're gonna run to using Leafeon. You know, a lot of those Absol users that they ran to Leafeon. So I don't really see Absol as being like a problem like that. You know, like Absol ain't never really gave me like any issues like that to where I felt like threatened to where I have to ban them. What about Aegislash in your opinion? Aegislash is not bannable in no capacity. Aegislash is not bannable in no capacity whatsoever. Like Aegislash is probably balanced, the most one of the most balanced characters in the game right now. Like if you know how to use them, good. If you don't, like you know what I'm saying, you don't really need that much skill to use Aegislash. You know, he's good, but he's not like he's kind of like mid tier. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not better than nobody on the roster, and he's not weaker than nobody on the roster. He's like right there in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really see Aegislash as being bannable. I'm looking on here. I'm not really even seeing too many that really gave me an issue like that. Cramorant, I can say Cramorant is understandable. Because Cramorant does a lot of damage, and that Hurricane early game is like stupid. I don't know. I might change that one later. Eldegoss understandable. Yeah, I wouldn't ban Eldegoss. Understandable, but I wouldn't really ban Eldegoss like that. It's just like, okay, I get it. You know, I don't really see. Honestly, like I would probably drop it down there, but let's just keep it there for now. Uh, Charizard. I can low key put Charizard in a respectable ban because that he got that buff to his Unite move and people went crazy. Uh, I believe they call his Unite move what, untouchable now, untouchable or unstoppable or something like that. To where like when it's activated, you can't really trap him, right, or like grab him or anything like that. You know he got that those few seconds of damage boost, a few seconds of a damage boost while his Unite move was active after Seismic Toss. So he can do a lot of damage after that. And on top of the fact you can't really stop him while it's active, that's a problem. That's a respectable. You can still kind of stop him, like with what though? Because I personally haven't seen anybody being able to stop his Unite move while it's active. I don't know, like maybe you've seen something that I didn't. So Mimikyu Unite, Slowbro Unite. I haven't seen Slowbro Unite be able to stop him after it's activated. It's after it's used. Okay, okay. Like I personally haven't seen it, so the only things I've seen stop is Charizard Unite, Slowbro, and Mean Look. I'm gonna have to look into that later because I could have sworn Mean Look wasn't Zero Aura. No, that's an understandable ban. Like you got to look at the Hold on, do I have the? So, uh, you're low key like new to the live stream Nero, but I have 4 tiers. I got should be banned, respectable bans, understandable bans, and should never be banned. You know, Zera is just understandable. You know, meaning that I can understand why somebody would want to ban him. I kind of look at him this season as like a mini Mimikyu. You know what I'm saying? Some people may not want to go against that wild charge or whatever that move is where he can hit you, but you can't. He becomes untargetable. I believe it's wild charge, but you know he's basically like a mini Mimikyu this season. You know, like it's understandable. Like I can see why. You know what I'm saying? But I personally wouldn't ban him. I don't think he's bannable, but understandable. Like I get it. You know what I mean? Who else is really giving people problems like that? Because most of these is going to end up going in the should never be banned section. Um, I don't really see too many people like Blissey. Like, did I put Blissey on there? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, Blastoise, I can see Blastoise as being understandable, not bannable, but understandable. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, there's no reason to ban Pikachu. There's never going to be a reason for me to ban Pikachu. He's not that much of a threat. He's more of a threat than he was, but that's not a tall hill to climb. Like that's not a tall hill to climb at all. Like they made him better, but that's not saying much. You know, Pikachu's whole claim, Pika got nerfed sadly. He didn't need the nerf. Like they nerfed some character. Like I don't know why they nerfed him. I don't know why, but he's a character that didn't even need a nerf. He needs buffs. He's not that good. Maybe in the right hands at a certain time, him coming in doing like the last little hit of damage, he's good for that. But he overall, he's not all that. You know, I don't see how people have problems with him. Like Pikachu ain't never really been good unless people are already knocked out. That's his. Yeah, I mean, it was never lethal to begin with. Electro Ball was never lethal to begin with. I'm talking about, I've been playing since season 2. Electro Ball has never been lethal. At no time, unless somebody's running away with like 1 HP. You know what I'm saying? And how often he's going to catch somebody doing that. You know, like he's not, I mean, I guess it does AoE damage. I guess that's something, but it's not a strong move. The move itself is weak. His whole use, like I said it before, Pikachu works better as a support character. His Volt Tackle, his Thunderbolt, you know what I'm saying, is good for stopping people that can actually do some damage until somebody can get there and actually do the knockout. He works better if you play him like a support character. That's the best way to play Pikachu, but he's not anything scary. You know, he caps out, like once he loses Electro Web, he's done. He don't have anything. Electro Web is his scariest move. And considering he loses that at what, level 4 or 5? Yeah, like, I mean, he has his role, but he's not like bannable by any means. I know I can fit somebody else in one of these categories. You know what? Sableye. I can put Sableye in understandable bands. That sneakiness that he has, I can see how that can be a headache for somebody. How good is Gengar this season? How Gengar does a lot of damage. I don't know if I would put Gengar on like a respectable, like maybe as understandable. I don't really see Gengar being like that big of a threat, but I do understand. Like, yeah, like Gengar is good, but it's really not a problem like I thought it would.